El Maestro Speaks.
El Maestro Speaks.
El Maestro Speaks Podcast.
All right, here we go.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountain, blowing like a breeze. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. To the place I belong. Yeah. So this is another episode of MAESTRO SPEAKS Podcast, coming to you wherever you are and wherever you're getting your podcasts. All my memories got around her. Mother's lady, stranger to blow water. Dark and dusty, painted in the sky. And yeah, what happened this past week? We've got a lot. I was supposed to be having one conversation today, but yeah, things didn't go through. And well, another chance for us to talk. Think about issues happening right now. Mama, take me home. Country road. I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. So what has been happening for the past days and weeks, right? And I guess before we moved on, we would like to, by the way, extend my condolences to the family of Mark D. Mark D passed away a few days ago. He is the husband of attorney Janice DeMorgan, and yeah, met him just a few times, 2-3 times, I guess. The last time we met was when I had the podcast with his wife, attorney Janice, and he was a driver. He was a driver, and he escorted his wife to the location for the podcast. So yeah, it's a sad situation. It's a really sad thing to hear. I don't wanna start it with that, but you know, just to let the family know that my prayers are with them, and like I said, may God's comfort be upon the wife, attorney Janice DeMorgan, and may God be with the children. I pray that God will continually guide those children as they grow, even though they won't be having their father with them physically, but I know that God will be sending guardian angels to guide them as they grow. And yeah, my prayers to the family. Once again, my condolences to attorney Janice. Make it true. I like to make it weird. Yeah. Oh, it's very difficult to start the program with that, but you know, yeah, it's one of those it's one of those things that one must go through. Um, I remember back in 2021 when my father passed away. Yeah, it's I kept on wishing that the day will go fast and roll fast. So because I know time heals. Yeah, I kept on wishing that the days, if only I have like a remote control, so I can fast forward events. Yeah, I have those feeling. Yeah, it's all but natural, I guess, when you're hurting. And yeah, nothing helps but prayer. Nothing helps but prayer. So yeah, and nothing helps also. I mean, telling or knowing that your friends, your families are there, or yeah, are there for you also helps. Yeah, it's one of those things, one of those painful things that we must go through. But we know in the end, we'll go through. We'll see it through. Yeah, yeah. Those are one of those things that happened this past week. Yeah, it's very sad indeed. And of course, mhm, still, I think, you know, looking at these things, this has been happening. Like you couldn't see something good in this. I don't know. I don't know. It would seem like everything that's happening is bad, and you know it is turning to worse. So yeah, um, the conflict happening between the Iranians and the Americans and the Israelis still happening. Mm, if I have a word, maybe it's getting worse. Getting worse, the way to put it. Yeah. But you know, you pray that things would go for the better, and yeah, hope for the best. Yeah, the war is affecting everyone, most especially our country, because yeah, you heard it. You already know whether I say it or not. It's the oil prices. Yeah. Once those prices, the oil prices goes up, everything we buy will become expensive too. So, yeah, there's no one is safe. Even if, yeah, we're thankful the war's not happening here in our country, but the effect of it, we can feel it. Can feel it, especially those the likes of me, who is let's just say in the low class of the society. Well, we are the number one sector of the society being affected by this. Yeah. Going to, yeah, because of those, we were able to breathe a little, right, this past week, because there was a like more than 20 peso rollback on the prices of the oil. So, but still, I think what was the last price we had before? 70, 60 peso per liter for the diesel at least. And it suddenly shoot up to like, it went up to 130, 150, right? Yeah, especially here in Baguio City. And then there was like two consecutive rollbacks that made it went to 105. Still, that is high. Still high. It's far from the original one, the 60 peso. I'm still dreaming. I'm still wishing it would go to that, you know. But there was an economist, I don't know if you call it economist, but there was a guy who said that it would be impossible already to go back to that. It would, they said it would rather play to 100 peso a liter. It's like $2. Is it $2? Yeah, less than almost $2 because how much is the exchange rate now? I think 1 peso, $1 is equal to 60 peso. Whoa. Welcome to a new low. Welcome to a new low. You know, number one sector of the society that's being affected by this is none other than our gardineros here, the Cordilleras, our farmers. Yeah. I think I heard last time that the prices of the vegetables going down as low as, if this is true, because I just saw this in a post a while ago, that it went to as low for the cabbage. It went to as low as 5 pesos. So they were actually comparing it to the payment, the fee that you will pay when you go to the public restroom. You got to pay for, you know, urination, defecation here in the Philippines. So yeah. And yeah, the fee for urination is 7 peso compared to the price of cabbage per kilo. It went to 5 peso a kilo. So yeah, that is the farmer really lost in that situation. It is a big loss to them, and they would rather like leave their harvest rot in the farm or just throw it than to bring it to the trading center and sell it with that low price. Ang mangyayari dyan is abonado pa sila. They will, instead of gaining some money, they will have to spend money to bring their produce to the center. Okay, if that is the price. So what they choose to do is just, you know, leave it there, leave it to rot, and yeah, those are one of those things, you know, one of those things that we really need to see. And you know, the problem is the government just is so good. I mean, they've gotten good in creating band-aid solution to a generational problem. This problem has been happening for generations. I had been hearing this back when I was a kid. Until now, it's still the problem. I was actually looking for someone to talk to about this, the plights of our farmers here in Benguet. I have a friend, so let's just wait for that. I have a friend who, agreed to do this with me. So at least we can listen to, you know, their concerns, what's happening really in the field. Because even me, a local here, cannot really explain it in detail what is really happening. Why would they choose to just throw their harvest instead of selling it to that low price? Those are things that if you are not a farmer, you wouldn't understand. And there are some that will just go around and just give it. I experienced it one time. Somebody came to my workplace back in, I think, a few years ago, giving of, like, they're selling, and some of it they were just giving away tomatoes back when the price of tomato went so low, and just sell it to a low price, of course. Is a you know, it's like help for them. We bought some, but yeah, just imagine you cannot how much tomato, how much kilos of tomatoes do you need, or not, you know? So you just get 2 kilos, 1 kilo like that. It's just not enough for them. So yeah, a farmer can explain that. Why are they doing that? And yeah, because I really cannot explain it. I'm not a farmer. Um, Tried working in the farm, but uh, in terms of how it works, the details on why they do that, it's really difficult for me to explain. So we need those ones, yeah. And this is an announcement also to all those farmers listening right now. Yeah, you can come. You can come to the podcast and explain this. Let's knock. Let's knock on this. Let's try to create a noise for, yeah, hoping the government will hear us, because the problem again, yeah, back to the solutions that the governments are doing is that it's all by solution, and one of their favorite mm, favorite solution to do is give ayuda, or give financial subsidy. You know, they'll just, like, it's like a dole out, give you cash to subsidize your loss um, during this harvest. I um I don't know. I don't know if they think that's helping. I don't know how much effort of, yeah, the effort of thinking if this is a long-term solution. I don't know how much time they spent thinking this through, but it would look like they were not thinking. It would look like, I don't know. There are a lot of researchers on those departments concerned for the for concerned on the needs of the farmer, a concern on the farming department of the agriculture of this country. But it would seem like no one is conducting research. If there are, I don't know how they are gathering their data, or I don't know how they're using the data to come up with this kind of solution. You know, just giving ayuda, and of course, doleouts, financial doleouts like that. There are, of course, some of those vultures too, who are flying around waiting for that announcement of ayuda to come. And if they heard it, for sure they will go and wait in line for the ayuda too, that is supposed to be for the farmer, but was given to these vultures pretending to be a farmer even though they're not. So there's that. Yeah, that happened a lot of times. It happens, those things happen. So yeah, it's so difficult to, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to control that one, and to make sure that those money are going to the farmer. It's just a band-aid solution. It wouldn't solve, because comes next year, they will be facing the same problem again of the low price of vegetables. So where is this? What did that ayuda solve if the problem keeps on coming back? You know? Yeah, it is. Sorry about that. I I don't know if you can still see me. Yeah, do you still see me, Eve? Okay. So I'll just change this one to What should we put there? Yeah, how about that? How about that? Okay, I guess that will work. And yeah, I've been having a problem here. Like, uh, for a lot of times. Let me just try this again. Okay, hope this works. So, yeah, what did that thing solve? What did giving ayuda solve? It just maybe it helped the farmer for that time, but the problem of this low price on vegetable, why is it becoming like that? Why is it that the price of the vegetable can get too low that it would it would require the farmer, it make the farmer lose a lot during the harvest. So why is that? That should be the problem that we should be given a solution. You should look for a way to solve that. Um, one of the things I don't understand is that yeah, the prices of the vegetable coming here in our country would go that low, very low, and so that would mean like we have surplus of supply of vegetable, right? That kind of vegetable, say cabbage, would if cabbage will go to 5 peso kilo, that would mean that there's a lot of cabbage in the market, and some are still in the farm waiting to be harvested. So there's a surplus. Now, later on, let's say you'll wait for 1, 2, 3 weeks. They'll be saying that there is a shortage of vegetables, so they need to import vegetables from other country or rice or things like that. The funny thing, this department that that has the mandate of taking care of the farmers of our country are just there to just see if we have enough supply. So if we don't have enough supply, they can just, do a contract for importing goods from other country. I think that became the number one function. And again, this is my observation, and if my observation is wrong, then yeah, someone from that department will come here and explain so as to why. Because yeah, as of now, a common person like me, that is what I see.
Pati din suklayin, itanggay man alangan, tanding bayad iman yan magay,
Right.
kaisiguro.
And one thing, yeah, this song is actually singing the plight of all the farmers here in the Cordilleras. One thing is that the price of the output of this farmer can go as low as that, single digit. But then the materials they need to farm, okay, the prices of those materials are going up, because of oil price hike. It's, yeah, that is insane. So one of the solution, I guess, was, if you will, like I said, if we can talk to a farmer, they will know. They will know. They have some tips on how to control the price, so they would like have a floor price and a ceiling price for their product. They know. They know what to do. All we need to have is like a memorandum or an implementing body to do this, to implement it in a wider area, in a national level. How about, instead of giving ayuda, what about, mm, reducing or monitoring the prices of those farm inputs, fertilizers, you know, materials needed for farming, especially those that goes through customs to like for once just remove the tax so it will become the price will become lower, things like that. Oh, we focus on that one, you know, lowering the farm inputs so at least the farmers can have a fighting chance. The farmer will be planting again for the next harvest, you know, and yeah, you're just focusing on giving them again ayuda for the incoming harvest if the price of the vegetable will go low. So is it the best you can do? You know, we always say that we have this. I think it was overused already. We have this quote from, I don't know, said it Robert Kennedy or Jefferson. Oh, Robert Kennedy. Who was the president? The Kennedy that was assassinated. I don't forget the name, but whoever that Kennedy is, there is a code that he shared. You have to think what you can do for the government, not what the government can do for you. Well, the farmer has been doing a lot for the government. They are the reason why this country is not okay. It's not hungry. It's not starving. They're the reason for that. They're the reason why we have products to sell. They're the reason why you have rice, you know. And they've done a lot for the government. And what is the government doing for them in return? You know, these farmers will not stop planting. You know, even if they will have a big loss now for this harvest, that farmer is gonna go to someone who he knows or some rich guy for a loan to plant for the next season. So that's where you should focus instead of giving subsidies and shits. Instead of giving subsidies and those instead of focusing on that one, focus on lowering the price of farm inputs. You know, the farmer will still plant regardless of the loss that he had. Okay, and you can help by lowering the prices of farm inputs, farm materials, equipments, and finding a way to have a stable price for those products. You know, that's where you should focus as an agency, a department who is responsible for the agriculture of this country. I don't know. Talk to the farmers, for God's sake, you know. Talk to the farmers.
You'll let me hold your hand. You'll let me hold your hand.
I'm having, I don't know what's happening.
And when I touch you, I feel inside.
Yeah.
It's such a feeling that my love, I can hide.
The camera's lagging. I noticed this. The two podcasts I made, guys. I noticed this for the two podcasts I made, and yeah, and yeah, trying to do this while these are the hiccups of doing podcast alone. I have to monitor the sound and monitor the video. I was thinking of letting off the video, you know, for a while, but since I've been posting this on YouTube, I still have to have a video. So yeah, let's work it well going. So yeah, farmers, they are the backbone of the nation, and it would seem like no one's taking care of them. Yep, no one's taking care of them. It's the sad thing. Let's play that song again. This is the song about the plight of the farmers.
Mansakit din manluwasan mata, problema'y pangaan, bayat sinutang ta, into'y pandiskitaran si ipakansin pamilya.
Yeah, the the one that the most painful quote that this song said is that yeah, so let's, what he said in English is, let's continue working no matter how hard. Yeah, let's borrow money with no matter even if we don't know if we can pay for it, because this is our job, this is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to feed the nation. Painful, you know. Let's just go through it. Continue planting, even if we are not so certain of what the future holds, because this is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to feed the nation. That's what these farmers are doing for the government. Now, to the government, what have you been doing for these farmers? Oh my God, this is turning to be a bleak episode. A lonely one at that. And yeah, another news of that 19 rebels, NPA rebels. I don't know. They were like considered as terrorists. They are in the list of FBI's terrorists. So yeah, NPA terrorists. 19 fighters were killed. One of them is a student from the University of the Philippines. Here we go again. Yeah. Here we go again. So, the University of the Philippines. We were talking about this with Attorney Janice because she graduated from the University of the Philippines. My question back then was, why are they so prone to going left or joining this group, the rebel group, the communist group? And she laid out this thing here that the university encourage students to like think on their own, think for themselves, which is actually right. It is a thought exercise, right? To read the different kinds of books on socialism, books on the different types of government, books on different types of leadership principles, and form your own belief and principles based from those established knowledge, right? So University of the Philippines is so good in encouraging these students to do that. And of course, this is where different ideologies will come in, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Once you said you should do this and you should do that, you should not do that. That is already infringing on the right of people to think, their freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right? So we are free to the university. That university is encouraging all the students to, think, think radically, because it's through those thoughts, it's through those ideas that a new wisdom will be filtered out, you know. So yeah, you can just post your belief and then wait for other students to debate you, and you can just exchange ideas, refute or rebut the ideas of other, and show your better ideas. What you thought is better, and it's a thought exercise. It's a very good way of coming up with a new idea. The only problem is that's when these ideologies, and that's when brainwashing will come in. So like I said a while ago, there's nothing wrong in criticizing the government, right? There's nothing wrong in criticizing the system, because of course there's a lot of things to criticize in this government, in the system, lot of things, but where I draw the line is when you plan to destabilize the system that is holding your country, or protecting your country, protecting the nation. That's where I draw the line. Okay. And of course, we cannot stop these students from thinking this, thinking that, of saying that their only solution is to join the Communist Party. And I think that's the link that is missing when this university has encouraged this students to think differently, to come up with their own principles and philosophies and beliefs. Okay, they have forgotten to teach their students to say that there's no, how can I say this? They have forgotten to teach these children. I think it's not only the university's responsibility, but all of us, parents, and all of us, the community, we have forgotten to teach them, that these youngsters, that is not the only solution. Going to this Communist Party or terrorist group, joining them in the plan of destabilizing the system that's working right now in our government, is not the ultimate solution. Nothing good will come out of it, right? And yet there's a lot of ways to, how do you say that in the farmer's language? There's a lot of ways to skin a pig, skin a cat. Skin a cat is a little bit brutal. Yeah, even skinning the pig is, well, yeah, there's a lot of ways. Let's just say there's a lot of ways to cook a pork, cook a food, a lot of ways. So it's not joining. That is, I guess, is joining the terrorist group is reflecting desperation with this youth. Okay? From this youth, they are desperate. They want to solve whatever problem they're seeing right now in this current system that we have. They're desperate. They are desperate that they want to solve it, because they see the effect. These are good, great thinkers. They see the effect, and because of desperation, that's the reason why they are easily brainwashed. Yeah, coupled with, there are some, of course, let's not discredit the fact that there are really, um, what do you call this one? If they in America they have what they call a provocateur, here they a recruiter, recruiter. I'm still looking for that word, but still, yeah, recruiter. They are in the university. You know, if they see that um you have these ideas, and then they'll find a way to twist your beliefs, your ideas into a thought or a principle or a philosophy that will go against the system that we have right now. You know, so in a way, it is a good system. You know, letting your students think, have radical thoughts on how to run, how to become a leader, things like that. But then still we know that we have this, the mind of a young person is impressionable. It's so easy to manipulate them. And the worst part there is that they will never know that they were manipulated. They will think that they have thought this through, and that they've conducted a lot of research, and they have seen that the only ultimate solution that they can do to help this country from failing is to join the rebel group. Yeah. You not knowing that they were brainwashed by someone else. You know? That's the saddest thing. It's the saddest thing, because as a parent myself, that those are one of the things that I'm afraid I would have to go through when my daughters go to college. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind. I still don't know what kind of parent I am. If I am the one that's so strict, or you know, but I would like to think that, yeah, I am the kind of parent that would let my daughters think for themselves, but still have to debate them, to, you know, guide them if in my point of view, they are going astray or not going the right path. So yeah, I would like to think I would be that kind of parent. Yeah, one of the fears that I have is that I, yeah, it's really painful for me, you know, to see, you know, the one I posted back then about Chantal, when they found her helpless in the middle of the mountain without anyone to help. Dude, it's that is so painful for me. As a father, you just imagine that's your daughter, you know, and you cannot do anything. I don't know, because yeah, he was taken. She was taken away from you. Yeah, emotionally, okay, physically, emotionally, yeah, and yeah, Chantal's parents are still thankful she's still alive, right? But yeah, there's the student now who was killed during that encounter. You know, it's it is comparable to that incident is comparable to your child being kidnapped. You know, no, never to be seen again, and those are things that will scare the parents. I have a friend who said would never send my my daughter, my children to that university. Yeah, yeah. And it's understandable. It is understandable. As a parent, you have that fear, and yeah, that fear is understandable. But then again, it is UP is not a breeding ground. I would like to say this. UP is not a breeding ground for terrorists, for communist rebel. It is a ground for radical thinking. It is a, I would like to think that UP is a place where everyone is allowed to think differently, right? And to and to see where this thoughts leads them, test the theory, test their thoughts. If you know, how will it work? You know, and yeah, and that's what university should do, right? But still, we still have to guide because these are still students, and you still have to guide them to, you know, like I said, it's never wrong to critique your government, but to plan to destroy the government is a different issue. So if it leads to that, you as an institution should be there to guide them back, right? Guide them back, to show them back the way. Yeah. But still, I would like to think that UP is that. UP is the place for people to develop their own ideas. But still, like again, I said, we still have those vultures around, those recruiters. And yeah, you cannot go away from that. Like in a garden, you have those vegetables and you have those grass that you need to clean from time to time so that they won't be getting the nutrients that the plants need in order for it to grow well. So yeah, it's the same. Or in every forest, there are a lot of snakes. There is for sure. Okay, no matter where you go, a situation like that. So I'm also lucky, I guess, because back in the day when I was in university, never had an encounter with these kinds of radical thinkers. And yeah, perhaps one driving factor why we were not like impressionable during that time is that we I don't know, yeah, we were so immature. Yeah, to put it bluntly, yeah, I was not, I think as compared to the others, I was immature. Just not thinking like that. Just thinking of yeah, uh, studying, you know, going to gym, drinking, yeah, going to, yeah, the eats like that. Yeah, not so well on politics, on how government or how nation building, so to speak, like that. Yeah, never think of those. Not until I was an adult, like until I graduated. So I remember there was one time there are students from the University of the Philippines here in Baguio who came to our university talking about back then it was Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, I guess, inviting us to go to join the protest in Malcolm Square. Yeah, that was the only time, but really not gave attention to it because like it's not my thing. That's what I was saying back then.
Against the odds,
Oh, what happened?
never lost your faith in her house.
Yeah, speaking of ayuda, yeah, back because our government was so good at that. That is actually the number one. I don't know who started it. I don't know. I don't know who started it, but that is their number one thing. Mm, ayuda is just like a financial assistance that they give to everyone. And the funny thing is that that came from people's tax. The tax, every people, not just the middle class or every one of us. When you buy something, you're paying tax. So it came from the tax of those products, and it came from the tax of the people. You know, those ayuda that they're giving back to, yeah, to whoever they choose to give. Those ayuda never came from their pocket. It's not their money. But the thing is, they will milk it so well, saying that because I wrote the law of like this and like that, that you are able to receive this ayuda. Because of like this, that's why we have AX. Because of Mr. like this, that's why we have Tupad. Because of like this, that's why we have AKAP, things like that. Never, it's really, yeah, it's really for PR stunts, you know. So it's not really their intention to help. Actually, I think these politicians, these people love it when you will need ayuda, when the prices of oil will go up, when the prices of all the products will go up, so they can just give ayuda. You know, they would love that, okay? Because once you receive the ayuda, you will never forget them comes the election, right? So, yeah. Yeah, speaking of ayuda, I think I had an experience of that back then. When I was in college, I don't know if I can, maybe I can tell the name of the congressman, but each congressman here will have what I think, well, I think it's coming from what they call the pork barrel back then. It's like a development, project development fund for each representatives that was given to them every year. And the congressman of our province, what he did with his fund is he created an educational assistance fund, which is given to those indigent students studying in universities. So someone told me that you go and apply. So we went to the office of this congressman. Well, my bad experience was not from the congressman himself, but from those people working for the congressman. So we went to the office of this congressman. That was, if I'm not mistaken, 2008, 2007 maybe. So we went to his office, and we told our intent that we would like to apply for the educational assistance of congressmen like this. And this is where this worst experience, and I will never forget this one. That's why back in the day when I was, I became a clerk at the district office of one of the district here. I made sure that I won't be doing this thing. Yelling to people coming to the office. It's a very bad experience. So yeah, and thinking that that is a government office, right? So I went to the office. We went to the office. There are some people with me. We went and we set our intention that we are going to apply for the educational assistance. So they gave us the bond paper, and they said, write a letter of content, letter of intent. So the way they said it is in a way that their tone of their voice is like we, and I'm not being sensitive here, because I know I can hear tones of voice. Yeah, 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 you will know, right? So the tone of their voice is like they're mad, and in a way that like they were saying in their mind that why are these poor people here? Why are these people coming here? It's like, oh, this guy's against something like that. And that's the tone of their voice. So they gave us bond paper, write a letter of intent to be addressed to the congressman that you would like to apply for the congressional educational assistance and your reason why you want to apply. So, yeah, sure, okay. So, what I wrote, and I don't know for those English majors here, but the word Mister is a formal address. In other countries, like in America, they say Mr. Clyde to their teacher, right? Good morning, Mr. Clyde. Good morning, Miss Irene. Things like that. That's how they address their teacher. I think it's only the Philippines that we say sir, ma'am, or teachers, because sir and ma'am, I think is, yeah, in their culture back there, it's reserved for those who were knighted by the king, at least in the Europe culture. Right? So it's a very, very, yeah. But in other states, in the United States, they also say sir and ma'am, and Mr. and Miss is equivalent to that, right? So I wrote my letter of intent. So what I wrote is I was applying for the congressional assistance of Mr. the name of the congressman, because like this and like that, my parents have no job, things like that. We are poor, like that, and I hope you will choose me. So, yeah, because they said reason, right? So I gave the letter. I finished the letter. I gave it to that person, and then so before I was able to give my paper, my cousin was finished her letter first, so she gave it, and when she gave her letter, they returned it back to her, and then yelled at her like, "Why did you not write your name down there? Who wrote this letter? The lizard?" Things like that. Who wrote this list? Miss Lizard? Like that. Is it the dog who wrote this one? So they were yelling at her. And yeah, so maybe the student was a little bit nervous or a little bit in panic mode. I mean, we are at edge during the time that we went in because of how they received us. And yeah, they yelled at her to just write her name. Looking back, which one is better? Well, if you're the one in that situation, which one is better? Would you just tell the student to, "Oh, you forgot to write your name. Can you write your name down there?" Instead of saying that, what they did was to yell at her, right? So yeah, we were quiet. She just wrote her name on the paper and then passed it back. So it's my turn now. So I gave the paper, and then he just fling it back to me on the table. So just fling it like that, came back to my table. So I think it fell on the floor too. So I have to pick it up and then put it back, give it back to him again. He threw it back again. So I have to sit down and then read my letter again. So looking at it, is there a grammatical error here? Did I write the date, the address, my name? Oh, signature. So I have to sign it. So I signed it. Oh, maybe my cell phone number. So I wrote my cell phone number down and give it back again. So they gave it back. And because I don't know what's wrong with the letter anymore. I cannot figure out what's wrong with it. So I courageously ask the guy, "Excuse me, sir, what seems to be the problem with my letter?" And then he pointed out the word Mr. Okay. Who do you think you are? Are you the brother of the congressman? That's the question. The first question was, who do you think you are? Are you the brother of the congressman? Are you the brother of the congressman? Why would you call him Mr.? Things like that. Again, this is a great example. An example that, because we always hear people here saying that all politicians here in the Cordilleras are like this and like that. They're a simple person. You can talk to them like that. But at times, they would also like raise themselves up like, I'm different than you. And you have to acknowledge that. Yeah, there's that culture. No matter where you go here in the Philippines. Yeah. So they pointed that out to me, that I am nothing compared to the politician. I have no right to call him Mr. So what should I write there? Honorable. Yeah. You might think that I'm making this up. No, I experienced this firsthand. You know, I have to write honorable congressman. Yeah, I was I was actually laughing while I was writing the movie because well, I grew up I grew up in a minister's family, so I was removing that. I think I rewrote the letter. I've rewritten it. So I have rewritten it, and then instead of writing honorable because of how they treated me, I was so nervous that time. I think I have written reverend. I have written reverend. Yeah. I have to get correction tape and change it. But that happened to me. That happened to me. Well, it's not from the congressman himself, but from those people working from him, and thinking maybe that we're nuisance to them, we're annoyance to them that day, because actually one of them is playing Counter-Strike in his computer. The thing that irks me the most was when one of the guy asked, "What did he wrote, Mister?" And then, oh, such a stupid. In our language, nagbubuday ta kasla nga sino. Oh my goodness, a stupid person. Who does he think he is? That's what he said to me. You know? Oh, well, water under the bridge, they say. But still, just to highlight that, you know, the effects of us choosing leaders, sometimes that is, I guess, one of the mistakes. Maybe it's an isolated case, I don't know. But then it reflects the culture of those elected and those people with them, that we have to give a very high respect. We have to put those people in pedestal, you know, once they're there. And yeah, well, thankfully I got the educational assistance, so yeah. Yeah, it helped a lot. Thank you so much. But still, that experience, I cannot forget that experience. Anyway, if you are going to use the metric system, emotional metric system of the generation today, they will say that is a traumatic experience. You know, it did not kill me. It hurt me, but I'm still here, and still, I can just say it's the worst. It's one of the worst experiences that you have in life. Yeah, had that. And yeah, the thing there is, you're already being insulted. Like, they're already stepping down on you. So yeah, what's the best thing that you can do? You can just supposed to be walk away, right? Walk away mad, or just slap the paper in the table and just leave. But because you are in need, you need their ayuda. That's why you just knuckle under, you just bow, just do what they say. That's the most painful part there. That you gotta swallow your pride. You have no right to get mad, even if they disrespect you because you are poor. Yeah. Helpless. Was so helpless. And that's what these people in government want you to feel. That you are helpless, that only them can save you. That they are the savior. Again, those are things that's happening, you know. And yep. That's the only solution to know. Ayuda. Ayuda and ayuda. Yeah. And again, it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake up and see that these things happening right now. These are the things that will lead to students joining a communist group, terrorist group, because they are in desperation to change the system. But that is not the only solution. There is one good solution. You have to start vetting now leaders that can lead us, or for these kids and this generation. Okay, if you think you can lead, why not go? Why not? Why not apply as leaders? Okay, show your platform. Perhaps people will understand. Start leading on your own. Okay, and for those individuals like us, like me, okay, we hold that golden ticket every 3 years, and we have to use it properly, you know, and start in our own way, to contribute in helping our nation. That's the only thing left for us to do, aside from, you know, migrating to another country, because you see that this government and this country is already hopeless. Okay, if you still have the guts, then let's work together and try to contribute in rebuilding this country and changing the system of this country. Let's work together. So I guess that's it for this episode, you know. Yeah. I hope we'll be seeing again each other in the next episode. So thank you so much for listening.